Hello everyone, welcome back to Thoughtful Conversations. And today I want to introduce you my dear friend, amazing woman, Shauna Neal. And I want you to meet her because she does amazing things and she is a healer in a different way than me. That's what is beautiful about this channel because we can meet different people with different modalities and maybe find something what really resonates with us. And I definitely know that after this interview, you're gonna love Shauna as much as I do. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And please tell us, who is Shauna Neal?
So I am a tarot reader. I am a Reiki healer. I am a medium. Aside from that, I'm an aspiring artist. I live here local in Lloyd. I enjoy being out in nature. Yeah, that's me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things. Okay, I would ask you about medium because some people not comfortable with that. Some people may be afraid of that.
Right.
And honestly, I was kind of skeptical before I got readings from you.
Absolutely.
And it was fascinating the answer that I got and accuracy that I got. And it's just like another way of connection with people who's not here, but they're kind of here.
Yes.
That's for me, right?
Yes.
Can you please tell us, how did you come to this? How did you discover this talent? And
okay, first I'm going to answer as a two-part. So
yes,
I think you should be skeptical. You should vet out your mediums. They should be able to give you evidence, and you should really resonate that it is your loved one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should have no doubt about that. I always say it's hard yeses, hard nos. We're not going for maybe I could place that, right? So we really want that confirmation that it's your loved one. So that's first and foremost. So if they have socials, look at their socials. What are they saying about their mediumship? What are they putting out there? That would be the first part to that question. The second part to my question is, how did I come to know that I was a medium? That's a bit of a story. So unfortunately, in 2019, I lost my oldest son to his drug addiction. He was 21 years old. And I really had a transition point in my life. I also became newly single again. And while I always had some kind of faith and I had belonged to many, many churches, I, at that point, just felt like all the typical answers were failing me. And I don't know that I really set out to look for anything spiritual per se. I kind of just started to look inward more for answers. And the more I looked inward, the more situations arise that led me to where I am today, as opposed to me seeking it out, which was really different for me because in my past experiences with spirituality or churches, I had really sought them out and decided whether I wanted to be part of that. Mm-hmm. Now, ultimately, of course, we all have a decision. I've decided this is the path that feels most authentic to me, but I really feel like the universe reached out its hand and pulled me in as opposed to me seeking that out.
Wow.
So with him passing, with my newly found single life, I ended up moving to Lloydminster from Fort McMurray, Alberta. And I found out through a flyer, I think, in somewhere, I'm not exactly sure how I knew, that there was a grounding and intuition workshop happening that weekend. And it really was never something that I had thought of or whatnot, but I was in a position that I needed to make some new friends and meet some new people, and so I decided to sign up. There was a last minute spot. I think it was literally a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday was the course, and it was so nice to be with other people who just were curious. There was no really point that we were trying to achieve, or we just were learning how to be grounded in our own bodies, how to set some protection around us for energy-wise, which was new to me. And then during the end of each day, the facilitator had us do some pairing up and some learning if we could see auras, or learning if we could even get little messages. And when I say little messages, it could be anything from I sense you're a grandfather, and did he work outdoors? Or I sense that you really love the color orange. Any kind of intuition building. It didn't have to be, like, again, we weren't going for the goal. We were just seeing what information came to us. And that was really freeing to me because there was no pressure on it. I didn't ever think I was a medium. I knew that I was empathetic as a child. I knew that I was very sensitive. I knew that when I walked into rooms, I immediately feel the feels of the room. But besides that, so then walking forward a little bit, I think prior to all this, I had a reading after my son passed. And he really came through, and I had a really good medium, and she was able to pull so much information, and I just knew that I knew it was him. And in that reading, she said to me, you know, you have abilities too. And I laughed. I said, no, not me. And she said, okay. And she left it there, much the same I probably would now in a reading for somebody else. And so I had another reading, fast forward to when I was living here. And again, I heard the same thing. And again, I scoffed. And I think it was finally by the third reading, hearing this, I was like, maybe. And then by then I had already attended the little workshop of that weekend. So I was like, maybe there is something here. So I started working closely with that facilitator, and she really helped me understand what intuition was. Now, here's the thing. If you really want to get into intuition work, you also have to get into shadow work. And you have to heal some of the wounds that come with yourself, because we can't hold space for somebody else while we are still hurting in those same areas, right? We can't be fully functional to be with them. We don't have to be 100% healed, but we have to be aware of our own self and what it is that we're bringing, because then it also helps us set our boundaries. I know that I can help you to this point, and from that point, you're going to need somebody else, because that is the end of my offering, right? And those boundaries are so important as we're holding space for people, both for the person, because you want to give them what it is they need in the support that they need, but you also want to energetically protect yourself, because burnout is real in this career.
Oh, for sure.
And so taking it back to that, I really started to focus on some of myself and learning more about myself, healing a little bit of my childhood wounds, really learning to own the power of who I am, like myself. I've actually gotten to the point where I love myself. I never thought I would say that, so I don't say it lightly. And we just worked on picking up little bits of information. Now, I started by, can I pull through even somebody and give you, they like cars. Like, we're not looking for full readings at first, right?
Okay.
And then I knew that I wanted to pursue this a little more. And so I actually joined an online community. Again, this is kind of like my university, so it's going to cost you a little bit of money. So it did come with a membership, but it also came with classes. It came with reaching out to other people who were like-minded. It came with every week you could sign up for 2 readings. You could either do it internally through the school and just with other people, and so that's what I started out with. And then as you become more comfortable, there's sitters that sign up, whether they're family or friends of other people or whatnot, and they know you're practicing, you're not charging anything, and then you can really hone in your skills and bring evidence through. So I probably did that for a good year and a year and a half. And so that is kind of where the start of my skills. The reason I started to actually believe in mediumship, though, is a little bit different. So if we take this all back, when after my son passed, and I don't know the time frame, but I don't remember it being very long, I started to notice 1111. And I've heard before 1111 was an angel number. This isn't completely new to me, but I certainly had never seen times or patterns in numbers. Like, this was not in my normal field. But when I saw it, I knew that I thought of him. And so it connected. And when I tell you, literally for that first year, every day, whether it was 11:11 a.m. or 11:11 p.m., I saw it.
Wow.
And just really confirmed that they are still with us. And still to this day, it's been 6 years now. I don't see it as often, but I would say a good 4 times a week, at least, I'm noticing it. And from that, I've really noticed that I am actually a pattern. I recognize patterns. I often see 555 on the clock, 444. You know, those numbers really, and it's random things. I pick up my phone or I turn around and look at the clock. I'm not waiting for these numbers to appear, right? Mostly I notice it in time. I'm going to start to look and see if I notice it more in my daily life, if I'm more aware of it. I'm not sure if it picks up there. But that was my personal experience to know that, okay, for sure they're there. So now how do we access them more readily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, thank you for sharing,
You're
because
welcome.
it's an incredible story and a very story full of pain and grief that you went through, because it's not, not every person can go through this and come out with a different
Point of view.
Yes.
Yes. We all are able to have different thresholds. And while mine is working my way through it and hopefully being able to use it, that certainly isn't everybody's experience.
Yes. But also, okay, I just have so many questions now in my head. It kind of helped you with the grief at that moment, right?
Yes.
But like, you still communicating with him? I'm
Do
sorry,
I
I'm just
no.
like, it's kind of...
I can feel him.
Yes.
I feel his presence. I don't often try, believe it or not, to reach out because I do feel his presence.
Because it's not needed.
It's not needed right now. And so he does communicate with me, I feel like. Because at one point in my journey, I felt like I was trying too hard to communicate himself. And I really do believe when souls cross over, they have their own learnings that go on there. And I had gotten much confirmation that he was learning and he was happy right from him, right? And so I thought, well, this is my journey now here, and that's his journey there. And we can be connected, but I also don't want to hamper his learning and keeping him with me when his soul needs to evolve as well as mine. And so I've kind of taken the approach that, like I said, I find so much comfort in feeling his presence. I don't really need any answers, but per se, like on my brother's service, my brother just recently passed away, and I was getting ready and I picked up the phone and 11:11 was there, the day of his service. So, he wanted me to know, hey, I'm still here. I'm still with you, and we're going to get through this.
You kind of answered my
together.
Next question about it. That's amazing. You know what I feel? So I feel like with you can just like smooth it out, this layers of different being, like different, how to say, existing.
I think really when I've gotten to know myself, and I don't say this lightly or in an egotistical way, I think my soul in this journey was really here as a healer, as a space holder. But with that comes a lot of responsibility. And so I just feel that responsibility very strongly. And so if I don't see it in layers, that's when my ego steps in, when I think I'm in charge, right? And so when I think about it in layers, I think about it at a soul level. I think about it being greater than me and working with spirit, as opposed to what is it that I want to accomplish in this life. Yes, it's good to have goals. We absolutely need goals. I am a continual learner. I will always learn. But we have to remember that our path here isn't alone. Our ancestors come with us. Our spirit guides come with us. And so much help here, even in the physical realm. We walk alongside people. And I think for me that helps remember that we have layers, because I'm out there talking to enough people, corresponding with spirit guides, with ancestors. We all have a story. And that's what I think connects me to most people, is like, okay, this is hard for me and this is hard for you. It's different hard, but hey, there's commonality here.
I love that.
Yeah.
And are you tapping into like a different beings, like angelic beings, or maybe some extraterrestrial beings?
Yeah. I don't know. So I don't know how to answer that. So I definitely believe in angelic beings. I've called Archangel Michael in quite often for protection, times of sickness. But I don't know a lot about them. Does that mean they don't work with me? No. Right? And so do I communicate with them? Probably inadvertently. Yes.
That's not
do
your
I
focus.
know? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I could be in everything. I could want to learn about angels, and I do. Angels, I could want to learn about tarot, I could learn. But one thing I've learned is that I'm not integrating anything. It's not becoming part of me. And so right now my focus is my mediumship. I'm actually taking a 12-week course this summer to enhance that. I have a tarot mentor that I meet with once a month. I really believe in just sitting with the skills that you have at the moment. Reiki, I really enjoy my Reiki and using that modality. And then I know that I can branch out, but I want to be well-rounded when I do that. And so do I communicate them? Maybe they do. I'm open to that. I'm open to the experience. It's not something at this point I'm seeking out.
That's actually fantastic that you have Reiki as well, because who knows me, they know that I'm doing Reiki. And I feel sometimes it's so important to have a mediumship with Reiki.
Yes.
You know, because I'm not tapping that deep, but then I can send them to you. So.
Which is always appreciated. So for me, and this is probably different for everybody else, I have tried to do a Reiki session and a medium session in the same space. I don't enjoy it.
Okay.
I really enjoy when I'm working with somebody in Reiki. I enjoy working with their body, their energy. I tend not to tap out any more than that.
Okay.
And then, of course, when I'm doing my mediumship, the focus is more on the spiritual, of course, and their ancestors, what their story is. But I'm not working so much in the physical. I don't enjoy the flipping back and forth really quickly. Can I do it? Sure. But I find like I'm selling each one short.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be my experience with that.
See, because it's different, like how Reiki works for, I think. For
Probably.
Because for me, sometimes, while I work with this person, with her or his energy field.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm resonating a different frequency, I become more available to messages.
Yes.
So it's not like fully like medium, but it can be like a quick, oh yeah, she's closer to us right now. I said it quickly because it needs to be sent right now quickly. You know? That's how I feel it.
Yes.
But I just don't go as deep as you do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
And now, I just tend to, when I'm doing Reiki, I tend to really... I will be like, oh, you had an injury on your knee. I really feel their energy. Yeah. Every once in a while, I have felt loved ones with them. And quite often that will be like if there's a birthday or an anniversary, something coming up where they just need a little message. I always ask in the beginning of my Reiki sessions, would you like any messages if they do come through? Sure. Because that's not part of Reiki. Right?
Yes, it's not.
It's not.
That's why I'm saying
Reiki is Reiki.
Some people come for medium, and I'm like, no, that's not that.
Right. And I think it's really important to be aware of that because people add lots of things to Reiki, and whether it's sound, whether it's color, and those are amazing. But there are also some people who just appreciate the art of Reiki.
Yes.
And that in itself is completely enough. The rest of it is great add-ons. And I just think it's important to give people what they're actually looking for.
What they're looking for, yeah. See, that's cool. So that's already a different point of view on Reiki. Okay, can I tell us a little bit more about tarot?
I can. Tarot is one of my great loves. So tarot is 78 cards, traditionally. It is made up of the major and the minor arcana. The major arcana would be your first Well, it goes 0 all the way to 21, so it's your first 22 cards.
Okay.
And they represent big life changes, big moments. It can represent people that are coming into your life as opposed to necessarily an actual physical move or something like that. It points to all those points. Now you take your minor arcana and it's more of our day-to-day life emotions that we're working through, and that's what builds the story when you're getting those cards. So for me personally, I really like tarot as more of a healing modality, more of a sit down with yourself and where can we see our strengths? Where do we have weaknesses that we could learn to build? And so the more specific you can ask me a question in tarot, not just let's see what's going to happen. Certainly, can I do that? Absolutely. We can look at...
I'm sorry, we just had to pause for a
Yes,
second
no
and we
problem.
continue. Okay, sorry, we just had to make a little break and now
We're back.
continue. Yeah.
So I think we were talking about the ways in which I like to use tarot.
Please. Yeah.
So to me, tarot is a tool to get to know yourself better and your situations in life, your strengths, some of your weaknesses, and then really build that in and integrate it to who you are and your personal journey. I would ask, for instance, show me today where I'm going to get a win. And then depending on what cards I pull, would show me where my energy is. So if it was like the 8 of Pentacles, even just off that one card, I could be like, oh, my strength today is going to be in my work. That is a card that really speaks to work. And so what does my work look like today? And that may mean your physical job you're going to. It may mean getting some computer work done that you really need. But then you can kind of go, okay, I know what my energy is good for today. In reverse, you can say, what is going to be my weakness today? And maybe we pull up the 2 of Cups. Okay, my relationships are going to struggle a little bit today. And that doesn't necessarily mean an intimate relationship, right? Often that card does pull to that, but it could mean, okay, when I go in, such as yourself, for a massage, probably I'm not going to click with every client today. I'm going to go in and I'm going to give them what I can. And when we only have 60% to give, we are really giving 100%. We forget that. We're hard on ourselves.
That's
and think
beautiful saying.
everything has to be, in the high realm. But every day is not like that. And so that is the way I like to use tarot. So again, the more specific you can be, I tend not to go to the where will I be in 5 years.
Okay.
Because we all have free will.
Yes.
And so there are too many moving parts in that. What would help me today to get to that goal that I have in 5 years? Let's pull some cards. We can tell.
Okay. What you can do today. Okay.
What can we do this week?
Yeah.
Month. Sure. We can go those kind of time frames.
That's so cool.
And now, that's not to say that's how everybody reads, but that's how I am comfortable.
I never thought about it from this point. That's actually cool. Now I want reading.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And so, how can I help support a loved one? So these are really questions that I can now use to empower how I walk through my path, right? We're not asking to fix somebody else. Quite often I'll see on little groups on Facebook, is he thinking about me? Is she thinking about me? Okay, let's take some of that power back. What about if we asked, do I need that person to think about me?
That's cool. Yep.
Right? What is it about me that needs that validation from that person? Is it healthy for that person and me to be acting at this point in my life? Let's pull some cards about that. But it's really a self-revealing tool more than it is prediction.
That's okay. I really like this point of view.
Yes.
Because we had this understanding of tarot that it's prediction and fear of that.
Right. And so perhaps some light workers are comfortable doing predictions. I am not. As I say, there are too many moving pieces. At the end of the day, what I want is to empower the person sitting in front of me to make the best decisions, to be the best them. I want to support them in that. I don't want to tell them where they're going to be in 5 years, because there is no accountability. There's no journey in that. If right now I say to you, you're going to be married and have 3 kids, I know. But
I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, then do we just wait for that to happen? No, we want you to engage in your life. We want you to learn the lessons that you came here to learn. We don't want you. What happens then if something happens to your partner and you're no longer able to have children? And then you look back at me and said, well, I was going to have 3 kids.
Yes.
Well, so much has changed between now and then, right? And so the more we can get to know ourselves and be comfortable in our own body, we are going to then co-create with the universe the life that we really desire. That's where manifestation comes in. And that's the point that a lot of us, I think, are missing. Manifestation isn't just about I'm going to think it and then therefore it's going to happen.
Good. That's a
Manifestation really includes you and the work you've put in and the desires you have to cultivate the life that you desire.
That's a very good point of view. So, tarot, I would say Reiki in a way, and mediumship. It's a tools for you to know yourself better.
Absolutely. So mediumship may be a little different. Mediumship where you're connecting with your loved ones. I really view that as a tool to help with grief. I really do. And I've seen it heal grief so many more years later, just giving some people answers perhaps that they didn't have, and that just really heals a hole in them. But an intuitive read where you're pulling some cards or you're looking to your spirit guides, definitely I would say those are the tools that you're gonna use to build for the manifestation piece. The more you can get to know you.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, so in the mediumship, you can get some closure that you didn't have the time to get here.
Yes.
It's nice because it's kind of like the way of death is become more transparent.
Yes.
And it become not so like basically
final.
Yeah, not like really existing, right?
Right.
Just
so energy can't be created nor can it be destroyed. And at our essence, we are energy. And so here's my caveat to that. We also can't spiritually bypass. So we are humans here on this plane having a spiritual having a body experience with our spiritual selves. In saying that, yes, I've lost my son. Yes, I've lost my brother. My brother's a little bit close still, but with my son, I've really been able to work through it. But there are days I miss him just like it was the first day he passed. And we have to allow ourselves to feel that. So coming to a mediumship reading because we want to hear from our loved ones, because we have questions maybe about their journey, or even maybe just feeling that connection because maybe you never got to meet your grandparents, but you've always kind of felt a connection to them through the stories your parents have told. Sometimes that really gives some validation to, hey, I belong here. And really, humans need that connection to know that they belong, right? And so it gives you some roots, and that's great. But we still have to acknowledge that as a loss in our life, that their presence has now changed and altered not only their course, but our course as well. And we have to honor that. So there's going to be the tears. It's not like, oh, well, I just know that they're gone and their energy and everything's okay. No, that's really a form of spiritual bypassing, and that will really stunt your growth. It will make you go back because you can't just go through life being happy. We need the holistic approach, which is we're happy, we're sad, we're everything in between. We're nervous. We're here having that full experience.
Oh, kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Feelings. That's beautiful, Sam. Thank you. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was beautiful information. Honestly, you asked for more than I could even imagine.
Wow.
And I definitely, I hope people see how important these modalities are, and how important it is to connect to somebody who can help you to go through your grief,
Absolutely.
through your growth,
yes,
or understand yourself more. It's great that we have, some physical activities,
right.
like go for yoga or
Super important.
go for different classes. It's fantastic, but sometimes you need this food for your soul and you don't know where to find it. So
Absolutely.
then maybe you can find it here.
Absolutely. Yes.
And please tell us where people can connect with you.
Okay. So I'm Shauna's Magical Musings on both Instagram and Facebook. And then you can reach me here in Lloydminster. Give me a text, 780-381-7619. And I can certainly start a chat. Please feel free to ask me questions, because that's super important. I don't need a whole lot of information, but you should feel comfortable with who it is that you choose your reading. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I put this information then in the description.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I hope we're gonna have more beautiful, profound conversation that maybe gonna help others people to understand themselves better.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Thank you for being with us, and have a good day.
Thank you.